and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Chat with Curry and Adrian. I'm Curry Terrell. With me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Adrian McMillan.
Is it too early for you?
No, why?
I feel like you just stumbled a little bit, too.
I don't know.
And we already redid it once.
We said our name one way for so long, my brain is just like...
It's okay.
How's it going?
Happy rainy Saturday here in Los Angeles.
I love all the rain.
Me too.
Do you really?
Yes, when it was raining last week, I was driving with the windows down playing my Twilight soundtrack.
I know. Yeah.
I love Twilight.
I know you do. I know. Is it too soon for a remake? You ready for it?
I'm ready.
We're seeing Kristen Stewart live in person tomorrow.
That's right, for Love Lies Bleeding, which is a new movie. I think it's like kind of like sci-fi horror-y-ish. Kind of like, I feel like it's like Bonnie and Clyde a little bit, but her girlfriend like turns into an alien bodybuilder.
Who is the girlfriend?
She's, I think, like a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah. Everybody else in the trailer seemed famous.
Yeah. Ed Harris.
Yeah, Ed Harris, which always just makes me think of Stanford on Sex and the City. And what's his face says, Ed Harris, more like Ed Have No Harris.
That's bad.
So
that's really bad.
But it's just in my brain. That's coming to Netflix, Sex and the City.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
I don't agree with that.
No, but what can you do?
What can you do?
How
are you doing?
I feel fine. I feel awake, alive. I had an okay week. I'm trying to even think what I did.
We did a lot.
We did a lot. We went to S Club 7. Adrian did not come.
I did not go.
But Patrick went with me.
Yeah. You guys had a blast.
We had the best time. S Club 5. 2 of them were not there, but I did not care.
No, it's okay.
There were 2 moments this week where I was like, wow, I love living in LA. One, S Club 7. Before S Club 7, we were at something, Les Mis, and we walked past Justin Long and Kate Bosworth, just like at the mall.
Yeah.
That was another one. And then last night, we go to movies and then the people from the movie come out.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Yeah, that really only happens like 2 places or 3 places in the country.
Yeah.
I feel like it's New York, San Francisco, and LA.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sometimes Chicago.
I wouldn't even say that there's ever really like Q&As like that in Chicago. Sorry to all the Chicago listeners.
Wow. Wow.
Is Chicago Midwest?
Okay, can I tell you something? You were talking about ways that you're getting to on the trip you're going with your mother.
To Texas.
And the driving routes or whatever. And when you were saying the different ways that the states go, I was like, what?
For the record, I am not driving. I will be on an airplane there in 3 hours.
Yes.
My mother and my brother will be driving for 3 days.
Yes.
There and back. God bless them. But you're right. I mean, I don't know. My friend used to be able to tell me how to get places in high school. My friend Isaac, he used to tell me what freeways you could take to like go to like Washington, D.C. And then guess what? He worked for Google Maps. Isn't that amazing?
That actually is amazing. When
Very
people
cool.
say they want to do things and they do them, I'm always like, I know this boy who used to tell me he wanted to be a city planner.
Yeah.
He is a city planner.
Amazing.
That's shocking.
That's following your dreams.
That, honestly, good for you. But yeah, I don't know anything about geography.
That's okay.
That's like lowest on the low. I don't know anything about directions.
I know that for sure. Yeah, that's okay.
But God has blessed me in this day and age that if I need to go somewhere, I can just punch it in and it'll tell me how to get there.
Unless you remember this last week, there was that big old outage and there were people that were like stranded.
That's true.
But you can do downloaded maps, FYI. Do you even know what that is?
No. No, I don't. I don't.
You could download like your city map. That way, if you are ever out of service, it'll still work. You can still put directions in.
Have you downloaded it?
Yes. I did it in Japan. I did it here, New York, everywhere.
Okay.
I'm prepared. I'm a prepper.
You are a prepper. But like in a functional way. It doesn't like consume you to where you can't go through life.
No. Can you tell my lips are red?
They are a little red.
I put my lip plumper on.
Do they feel tingly?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're kind of burning a little bit. I'm like, what do I do?
Put some water on it.
No, it's okay.
Okay. I know I was going to say lick your lips, but then your tongue will be tingly.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
The first thing I want to speak on this week is Wendy.
I still haven't watched, but I know enough.
Of course. I mean, it was literally... I think it's fascinating the world we live in now where they... Like, networks release teasers, basically full scenes from whatever show is coming out. So it's discussed on social media for, like, days and days beforehand.
Builds up the hype.
It builds up the hype, but then sometimes I'm like, what? Can we ever just, like, let it wait?
No, they need engagement. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah.
They want numbers.
Sometimes with the Housewives, I'm like, I don't want to watch this if I'm going to watch it again in 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't want the clips.
Right.
But I understand it's necessary evil or whatever.
You said it was devastating.
Absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
No one is looking out for Wendy.
Yeah. And do you think there's any going back? No.
I mean, I'm not a doctor.
No.
She obviously has something very medically going on.
Yeah.
And I don't think she appeared sober in the documentary or series or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Just because they would find her like in bed with empty bottles of alcohol.
It's terrible.
But everyone around her is there for the wrong reasons. Every single person, her family, her manager, this like publicist that she has. If you're her publicist, you would not allow her to be filmed in that way.
I thought that was her assistant. I mean, her niece.
Her niece is also on there.
But people said we're like defending her. Saying that she seemed to be the only one that was like, what is happening here?
Mm-hmm. And she hadn't been to New York to visit her aunt since COVID.
Oh, wow.
So the courts made her leave Florida to go back to New York because they thought her money was being abused in Florida where all her family is. Meanwhile, none of those people in Florida have been to see her. They said at the beginning people were going, but it just got to be too much. That doesn't say a lot for your family if you going through something is too much.
Yeah.
Scary, very sad. Everybody should be very and Lifetime really should not be airing that.
But there was like an article where the producer was like, had we known it was like this, we wouldn't have done it.
Well, it's out.
Right.
So obviously you weren't too far down the river that you were like, it can still air. We can still get paid.
Right.
And I'm sure on Wendy's side of it, and her manager's side of it, Wendy doesn't have a show anymore. And she has a lifestyle. I mean, her apartment in New York was very nice. So I'm sure that lifestyle requires money.
Right.
So, of course, they're going to say yes to doing a documentary where she's being filmed. It just, everything around it was ick. Total ick. I felt so bad. Yeah. It's hard because we see these clips of her every day that we are so familiar with. So watching her like that is like, sad. It's so sad.
I still want to watch.
Yeah. It really was, but it was hard to watch. I watched all of it. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
I am.
But at least you admit it.
I definitely admit it, but it just, me and my mom were talking. My mom used to watch Wendy every day, too. Yeah. Very sad. I miss her Hot Topics. I do think, like, she wants to obviously still work in a situation where she could be edited and have the space, nothing live, obviously. Right. I think she could do something if she pulls herself together sober-wise.
But if she's been diagnosed with, like, the thing that Bruce Willis has, aphasia, over time, and obviously very quickly, she will no longer be able to, like, talk normally.
Yeah.
So the window is closing.
The window is closing,
It might be closed.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is sad. I hope we don't ever see another documentary about her again, though.
I think not.
I think she needs to be with her family or with
just
people
resting
in peace and away from everything.
Agreed.
Also, I wanted to, before we get into all the movies, I wanted to say this. Adrian's been watching Love is Blind.
Addicted. I've never gotten so hooked to a TV show, I don't think. A reality TV show.
What's fun about Love is Blind, too, is it's so short.
Yeah.
Like, it comes out...
not really.
And not really. It's a lot of episodes, but it comes out in like a couple chunks and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's not like you're with it for a year.
No, of course.
And something I always love is that the reunion is a year after the season ends.
That's fun.
So we really know, did these people make it at the end?
We got an accurate recap.
There's 3 couples walking down the aisle. Spoiler alert, if you haven't been watching. Do you think any of the 3 of them will be married?
Johnny and his girlfriend. Is that his name?
Amy,
them.
Clay and AD,
I think something's going to happen.
and Chelsea and Jimmy.
I love them. I'm one of the only people. I think they're cringe. It's so cringe. I can't even watch it. But I think, obviously has his faults. She definitely has her faults.
Yeah.
But he wants to make it work.
Yeah, he definitely wants to make it work.
Yeah.
I give him credit for that.
I think so too.
I mean, this has been a nuts one. I think like one of their better seasons. The last season, I know you haven't watched, but it was terrible. Like none of the couples were really making it. They were all just like, you could tell they all wanted to be on TV.
But isn't that fun? The part of them not making it?
Yes, but like at the end of it, you want somebody to make it. And the couple
I don't think you do.
Of course you want some love. I know when they were doing the wedding dress. Okay, now look, you got to buy into the fantasy a little bit. People fall in love in a week, in a day.
No, they don't.
But, okay, in the show's defense, they have had a pretty decent track record. At least a couple is still married from every season.
Let's see in 30 years. Let's see in 10 years.
You're right.
I don't think it's sustainable, but great. I hope it works out.
Wow.
But I do love it, and I can't wait for next week.
Yeah. Next week is the wedding, and I think the week after is the reunion.
I'm so pissed.
I know. I hate that it's over. I say I love it, and I hate it at the same time. Okay, into the films we go. We're starting hot and heavy. The movie of Patrick's lifetime. Dune Part 2. Starring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Austin Butler, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, and a million other people.
Stellan Skarsgård, Lea Seydoux, Charlotte Rampling, Christopher Walken. How dare you not mention him? Give us a synopsis.
Okay, if you're not familiar with Dune, it's basically it's a little spacey, but it takes place mostly in the desert or like in sand in the future.
Yes.
And it is about this boy and his family who are like royalty, and all these other royal families from all these different planets, and they're all fighting over spice production, which is basically like when they stir up the sand in the desert, spice that looks like cinnamon floating around, basically, it can make money off of it. Correct.
Because it's like integral to how they travel through space.
Exactly. It's also about like Timothée Chalamet is apparently this prophet.
Yeah.
That is fulfilling this prophecy, basically, of this guy who comes and like saves all these people.
Right.
So this movie especially is about him and his mother, who is Rebecca, trying to convince all these people that he is the Messiah. But it's not biblical, but of course, like most old books, it sort of has a biblical,
for sure,
sort of similarity. You go first.
I don't even know how to process it. It is unlike anything you've ever seen.
That's true.
And also, it's just so starkly different than the first one. The first one was kind of slow, but obviously we are obsessed with it. But it like really is about like setting up this world and telling you what's going on, why it's happening. But then this movie picks up literally like minutes after the first one ends,
which I loved.
But just never lets you go. It's like action, it's drama, it's romance, it's everything.
100%.
And I wouldn't say it's like sci-fi in the way that like Star Wars is. It's like high sci-fi. Star Wars to me is like low sci-fi. This is high sci-fi. It's like art. You know what I mean? Because just the way it's shot is so crazy. All the acting is unreal. We're seeing it for a third time today. Oops.
We saw the first time on Sunday night at the like fan first preview thing in IMAX. You saw it Thursday night in IMAX, and you're seeing it tonight at the Chinese Theater.
In IMAX.
In IMAX.
It's unreal. I could see it like 5 more times. I think we probably will.
It really was good. I thought of it too, like Lord of the Rings. The first one was sort of the setup where you got to meet all the characters.
Yeah.
The middle one is really the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And then the third one is sort of like, let's wrap this up.
Exactly.
This is sort of how the first one was like, let's meet all the characters and set everything up.
Yeah.
Just when you get into it and it gets going, it's like, that's the end of the movie.
Right.
And then this one is like, here's the story.
It just knocks it out of the park.
It really was very good.
It's amazing.
All the acting is excellent. The effects feel so real.
Yeah.
Nothing feels like green screen mess, which
No.
is a lot of the action movies that we come to now.
And also, I'm literally getting chills thinking about it, but to see those 4 young actors who are like the face of this like new acting generation, it's Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Zendaya, and then Timothy, it is really, really amazing.
Yeah.
And Florence like isn't in it a lot, but she is just so like stoic and beautiful and unreal. And
Totally.
Austin, of course, obviously is like different than anything he's ever done. It's the role of a lifetime for him.
Also, after everybody was so critical of him, it's like funny, everybody loved Elvis. He got nominated for everything. And then all we've done since is like rip him apart for Elvis, for being Elvis. It was really good timing for his career.
I think so too.
Because now he's done something totally different that everybody will see.
Exactly.
And he's excellent. And Timothy is
better than ever.
Honestly, he is, and it's fascinating. In that video we watched the other day, he said his his idols were Leo and Joaquin, and I thought, we can see that.
Yeah,
that's the choices that you're making.
Exactly, amazing. It really, if you are gonna go see it, which you should, see it on a very large screen.
Yeah,
like bigger than you can think.
Yeah,
look for the biggest IMAX screen you can.
Also, Zendaya, I kept thinking she has the other movie coming out, the tennis movie.
Challengers.
She's so starkly different in those two things. She's
Unreal.
Incredible.
She really convinced me this time.
Such a movie. You didn't watch Euphoria, really?
No.
She's unreal in that. A superstar.
We highly recommend Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. Seeing it on the biggest screen. If Kelly Clarkson says it,
yes,
it
which
must
she
be
did.
true.
She gave a glowing review last night.
There are some movies that are meant to be seen
in theaters.
Yes.
That in is theaters everywhere.
Yep.
Across the country.
Yep.
4,000 screens.
Les Mis, 150 screens. And we saw one of them. Adrian hated it.
I did.
We're also going to talk about Problemista, which we saw last night, the new A24 movie starring Julio Torres and Tilda Swinton. Some other famous faces pop in.
Yeah.
It is about a boy who is trying to work through his immigration process, and he wants to work for Hasbro, and he hasn't gotten that dream job yet. So he works for this other woman who's curating an art show, or trying to, for her deceased husband, who has been frozen. And she's like Devil Wears Prada on acid.
Beyond.
We saw it last night. He directed it, wrote it, and is the star of it, which we love.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
It's really unlike anything we've ever seen.
When I tried to rate it on Letterboxd, it kept deleting my words as I was writing them. I don't know what was going on. I was like, do I have a virus? I don't know what was going on. I closed the app. I did it again. It did the same thing. Everything I typed, it would literally, as soon as I let go of the screen, it would take it away. I don't know what was going on.
That's weird.
So it's not rated yet.
I gave it 5 stars.
I saw.
It really is. I describe it as just like a breath of fresh air. It's weird. It's quirky.
Cuckoo bananas.
It's very funny. It's heartwarming. And it's just like unlike anything you've seen. It's just so interesting. What a fascinating way of telling that story.
Absolutely. And he talked last night a little bit about how a lot of it is based on his real experiences and him being in New York as he was a
New School alumni, just like me.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, he really wrote. He really knew how to celebrate himself.
Yeah.
Like he wrote totally in his favor.
Yes.
All the jokes were so funny and so his brand of humor.
And it did remind me a lot of like those quote unquote like mumblecore movies of like the 2010s. Like Francis Ha a little bit, because it's like very dry humor.
Yep.
and like dumb humor. It's like people tripping. You know what I mean? It's like it's so just real life.
Yeah.
I loved it. I cried.
I did not cry, but I did laugh the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like in this day and age, a comedy, that's what I really want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've always wanted, but if a movie makes everybody in the theater laugh 45 minutes in still, you know what I mean, past just like somebody falls or like somebody farts, it's like, that's a success.
I think so.
And also, like I told you last night in the car, he walked in, everybody was clapping, everybody was laughing the whole movie. That must be such a good feeling.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it isn't for everyone.
Definitely not for everyone, but definitely for the A24 crowd.
Yes, and then some, I think.
And then some, for sure.
It's just so good. I think you definitely should rent it.
Not go see it?
No, you should. I don't think it'll play in a ton of theaters, though.
Yeah.
I think it's opening the same weekend as Dune.
Which that was funny when he was talking about that.
Yeah, he was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not like they're really competing for box office dollars.
No, but it should be seen. It's like the perfect plane movie.
Definitely a good plane movie. Yeah.
But go see it in theaters if it's near you.
Yeah. I laugh every time I get on a plane that I have downloaded all of these things to watch, and if there's a screen, I abandon them immediately. Mm-hmm. Literally, if there's a screen on the thing, I don't even touch my iPad because I'd much rather just scroll through and watch Bridget Jones' Diary.
Are you on planes going cross country without screens?
Yes. What are you talking about?
What airline, so I don't fly them?
Well, first of all, I don't ever fly for cross country without a layover.
Well, that's okay.
So it's not always a 6-hour flight. So a lot of times it's smaller planes, so they don't have screens. Most of the time I don't have a screen.
That's unforgivable.
It is, but I mean, I have my iPad, so I don't even think about it. But if I have that thing in front of me where I can scroll through the movies, I would rather watch Mamma Mia on the screen in front of me than to watch the thing I have downloaded to watch.
That's unforgivable.
Yeah.
I need a TV screen.
Who are you telling? But it's sometimes I can't afford the flights that have TV screens.
I don't think it's about price.
Yeah, some airlines, budget airlines, don't tend to have the TVs on the back. Southwest never has the TVs on the back.
I forget Southwest goes across the country.
Yeah.
I think if South was like a local.
They used to be really affordable flights.
Yeah.
They are not anymore. Now it's a lot of times more expensive than like Delta.
JetBlue is the one.
I know. JetBlue flies to Raleigh like once a day.
Mm-hmm. Take it.
No, it just doesn't always work out like that. Also, my friend Rob told me I laugh like Chucky, and I can't stop thinking about it. Every time I've laughed the last couple of days, I think about it.
That's rude.
Do you think I sound like Chucky when I laugh?
No, I don't even know what that sounds like.
Did you watch the Strangers trailer yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. We're going to dip into the last 4. Okay, I have to apologize.
We did do 6 last time, and I knew it because I said we were talking for a very long time.
You said one more, question mark? And I thought, you know what? That does feel right. And then I was going through the list today. I think I had written Oppenheimer twice.
We need an intern.
We need... I need the Lord, honestly. But yeah, so I apologize if you thought last time these aren't evenly divided in half.
Right.
AKA, I'm apologizing to you, Adrian. So we're going to talk about the other 4 Best Picture nominees to prepare you next week for the Oscars, which I cannot believe are in 1 week.
We'll be watching them.
The big excitement of this week towards the Oscars, they're going to do the presenters like they did 10 years ago, where they have an acting nominee or previous winner come out and announce each nominee.
That's fun.
Did I say that right? Does that make sense, what I even just said?
Yes, previous winners will be on stage to present the new winner of the award.
Exactly. I cannot wait. I loved when they did that last time.
Yeah, it was good.
At the end of the day, there are the big award shows, Emmys, Grammys. I mean, all of them are big to me, but Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, Tonys. I want to see legends. Mm-hmm. That's like the Grammys this year. That's where they got it right. There were a lot of legends.
Yeah.
The Tonys always have people of yesteryear.
Totally.
The Emmys did all those, like the cast where they're from like Cheers, Martin, Ally McBeal. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So the Oscars, that's what it should be. Okay. The first one we're going to talk about today, American Fiction, starring Jeffrey Wright, Erica Alexander, Sterling K. Brown, Tracy Ellis Ross, Issa Rae. It is about a man who is an accomplished author who has sort of gotten into a rut, and he is trying to figure out what he can write to like propel his career further. And so he writes, he goes to a conference. He sees Issa Rae has written basically a very stereotypical black book. And so he, as a joke, he gets drunk and writes this horribly stereotypical, like the worst of the worst book, and it sells. And all these people are into it, and he's all of a sudden famous. He's like on magazines, he gets movie deals, all this stuff like that. But he is not that guy in real life. So he is sort of hiding his identity. So that's half the story. And that's honestly what the entire trailer and marketing campaign looks like. It's also a story about this same man who is going through the loss of his mother, and she's sick, and there's another death in the movie that I won't spoil, and sort of like his family grieving and moving forward. That's too much of a summary.
You told the whole story.
I'm sorry.
I really did not like that movie.
I don't understand. I loved it.
It really didn't do it for me.
Jeffrey Wright, to me, is not somebody who makes me want to go to the movies. I think he's a good actor.
Not a lead.
But he does not, to me, always feel like sometimes when I see him, I'm like, okay.
He kind of is the same person in every movie.
Yes. However, in this, I loved him.
Okay.
I thought it was an excellent showcase for him. Very funny. He reacted, or he like had such amazing chemistry with everybody in the movie. And again, it's his whole story, the whole movie. I think it was marketed a little strange for what the movie actually is. And I know we talked about, is this really like an award season kind of movie?
No.
But I loved it. Again, it made me laugh a lot. I thought it was very heartwarming. I love seeing Erica Alexander in something. It was nice to see her, what we were watching the other day, where she was on the SAG Awards. Yeah.
It was not for me.
But didn't you laugh?
No. Actually, I think Patrick and I didn't laugh once.
Caroline and me went to see it at the Screen Unseen thing with AMC. That was fun.
Yeah.
And seeing people like get excited when it came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the first time I saw the trailer, everybody in the theater laughed. And then when we saw it in real life, everybody laughed.
Are you going to say what it's nominated for?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Again, as we need to just hit a button like last week that says my note just completely disappeared. Okay. It is nominated.
Oh my God.
I'm spiraling. Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor for Sterling K. Brown, which he is really good in the movie. You don't think so?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Adapted Screenplay, and Best Score.
Okay. Score? Could you tell me anything about the score?
That I could not. But I don't actually think about the score except unless it's something that really stands out to me.
Got it.
Like
Dune.
Yes, Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
If Beale Street Could Talk, my favorite score of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really remember the score, but I had a great time with the movie.
Good.
I don't have high hopes for it winning.
No.
And I think Paul Giamatti, any comedy momentum that he would have as being like the alternative to the heaviness of Oppenheimer, I think Paul Giamatti is soaking that up.
Completely agree.
Next, we're going to talk about Past Lives, Greta Lee, T.O.U., and John Magaro. I might have mispronounced that. It is nominated for Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay.
That is criminal.
It is the best movie of the year. I'd say hands down.
Mm-hmm. I think it is one of.
Yeah, of course, it's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
It is about a woman who dated this boy when she was like 10. Mm-hmm. She came to America, and they stayed in touch through Skype and Facebook or whatever, and reconnected when they were like 20, and then sort of lost touch again, and now they're reconnecting at like 30.
With her in a relationship.
With her fully married.
Yeah.
And Yeah. Is that a good synopsis?
I think it is.
Sort of grappling with that.
And she is, where was she from? Korea? South Korea?
Yes.
So there is just like that, like kind of, they really talk about like the cultural element of their relationship while they were still overseas and what it means when they're now in America and what their life could have been like. It's really sad.
It really is sad. What I love about it is it's literally just the three people the whole movie, basically.
Yeah.
And there's no villain.
No.
She is just figuring out her feelings with this past romance that she has had, this boy who's been a huge part of her story. She is also figuring out her current relationship with her husband and how that they sort of can exist at the same time.
Yeah.
And her husband in normal films would be the bad guy, or they would do something to make him seem like something was not good or they had like trouble or something, but it's not that at all.
He's honestly kind of supportive of her, like seeing him and reconnecting with him and all that.
But he conveys the hurt that he's going through without saying it so well.
Yeah.
It gives me chills.
All three of them should have been nominated.
Should have been nominated and should honestly be winning everywhere.
Should have been a contender, as Scott Feinberg says on The Hollywood Reporter. Julia Butters, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, who's in the movie for 2 seconds.
Legendary should have been a contender.
This is the movie that you should watch.
Yes.
Out of all of the nominees, this is one of them that you should watch.
Because let's be real, you've already seen Barbie.
You've seen Barbie.
A good chunk of people have probably seen Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Or it's not something they're ever going to watch. This is the third.
Yeah.
It really...
It broke my heart.
It broke my heart. And seeing it again, I hadn't seen it since the summer when it came out or like early fall or whatever. It hit exactly the same.
I love that.
It's so good. Greta Lee is so good in it.
And she was briefly in this other movie we were talking about earlier, Problemista, and she was amazing in it.
She was
literally in the movie for 5 minutes and is unreal.
Yeah. The best actress group this year was so tough.
Yeah.
I know every year people say that, but like this year,
especially,
there's like 8 of them that really should have been nominated.
I agree.
I don't fault any of them, of course, because it's not their fault, but it's like, I wanted Greta. I did. Next, we're going to talk about maybe the best actress, spoiler, Anatomy of a Fall.
Wow.
Sandra Hüller, Swan Arlaud, and Milo Mikado Grainer, who is the little boy.
Oh, my God.
Who is unreal. It is about a woman.
What is it nominated for?
It is nominated for... I know. I just don't have... Oh, my God. Okay. Anatomy of a Fall nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Original, Screenplay, and Best Editing.
Amazing.
As we spoke of last week, not nominated for Best Foreign Film because... they chose the taste of things over it because of something the director said politically at like a festival. Anatomy of a Fall is about a woman who lives... Where does she live? Somewhere very cold and snowy.
Well, aren't they in like Switzerland?
Switzerland.
But then they like are like northern France, something like that.
And it basically, she and her husband are fighting... And her husband falls out of a window. Yeah. And the whole movie is basically, did she do it or did she not do it?
What a great title of a movie. Anatomy of a Fall.
When I saw the trailer, I thought this is going to be the movie.
Yeah.
It gave me chills.
And then watching it, I was aghast.
Absolutely unreal. She is unreal, incredible. I'm trying to say unreal and incredible at the same time. Absolutely incredible, and
masterclass of acting,
absolutely
across the board. One
of the best performances you're ever gonna watch. She should have won every single award this season, but again, very competitive year.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of it is a courtroom drama, but the way they do the court system there. It is so different, and they basically can ask them a question, and then the defendant can answer right away, like in real time. So it's more like a conversation they're having with the people on trial. So that is fascinating. And the attorney, the son, The husband who's only in it like actually for like 10 minutes and like a flashback, absolutely unreal.
Oh my God.
The first time we saw it, we were in the theater next to Taylor.
Oh, right.
And all you could hear in the background was, "Are you ready for it?" Boom, boom, boom. And I May Fall is silent. So, I mean, it was like we were basically had one ear at the concert, one ear into the movie.
That's
not
bad.
the viewing experience.
No, they should know better.
But I saw it again. Don't worry.
We highly, highly recommend.
Yeah. Could be second best movie of the year.
Yeah.
And
some people think she could win.
And a lot of people think that she could win.
Like where Emma Stone for Poor Things and
Lily
Gladstone are kind of like dividing up the crew. Because remember, it's all preferential, right? So it's like how many votes do you get in like a certain ranking versus like the person that gets the most votes.
Exactly. They rank them first to fifth.
Yes. So if like someone gets enough second place votes, they would be the winner.
Yes.
It's very strange, but maybe we'll get an upset. Maybe we'll get a tie.
So the Oscars and the Circle have the exact same voting system.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I was going to say to America, kind of like the Electoral College.
Okay. Yes, that's just what I was thinking as well. Our final Best Picture nominee. Dun, 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 take a guess.
Couldn't tell you.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, right.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Lily Gladstone, Robert De Niro. Nominated for...
Here we go.
Best Picture, Director, Actress, Supporting Actor, Cinematography, Film Editing, Production Design, Costume Design, Original Score, Original Song. And last night I looked up what the original song was because I'd never heard it. It is good.
Continue.
It is a movie about... honestly, I could not tell you. I haven't watched it since we watched it, and I could barely remember.
It's about the tribe of Native Americans that live in Osage County.
Yes.
And the white folk can come fuck it up for all of them. Excuse my French.
For the oil.
Literally destroyed all of them by marrying into their families, having kids with them, and then murdering them.
Yes.
So they could be in the will and obtain all the oil rights. Because the original Osage County reservation residents were the owners of all those people, or all of those oil reservations. They were like, didn't they say in the movie they were like the richest people in the country?
Literally.
And all these people came in and took it from them. Awful. A.K.A. Ree Drummond and her family.
Now that's the twist.
The pioneer woman of Food Network fame.
And Walmart merchandise fame.
Merchandise fame.
Darlene.
Her husband's family is in like law books from like the 1800s involved in these cases from Killers of the Flower Moon. His like brother or uncle or somebody is still like in the freaking government there.
I think about once a week
Yeah.
where she tweeted or posted and said, if my husband does not come home and take me to see A Star Is Born tonight, I'm divorcing him.
It's so funny.
I love her.
I do love her too.
I love the pioneer woman.
But it's fascinating to think how such a relevant person in our day-to-day age is involved in a story that honestly, like in the grand scheme of things, didn't really happen that long ago.
Yep.
I think the movie takes place in like the 1900s because they're driving cars and stuff.
Yes.
The early 1900s.
Leonardo DiCaprio was not nominated, which was a big controversy at the time.
Yeah.
But I thought he was good. It was a good... I mean, the thing is, he's always good. It's like Meryl Streep. Always good.
Yeah.
So, but this was a little bit of a different role for him.
Yeah.
I could see the argument.
The movie is great. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't really thought about it since we watched it.
Yeah.
It has one of the worst performances we've ever seen. Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser's in it. This is first post-Whale Oscar.
Awful.
It is painful to watch.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Lily Gladstone is unreal in the movie.
She's so good.
It
would be amazing to see her win.
Oh my gosh. All of her speeches have been great.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Like, she's everything you want in an award show contender, and she's excellent in the movie. There's just something about, I still think, it really is a supporting performance.
Agreed.
She's not in like half the movie.
Correct.
Also, we've talked about it. If you drive around LA, they have changed all the marketing. When it first came out, it was like a big picture of Leo.
Yeah.
And now it's a huge picture of Lily, and Leo's looks like he's like a fifth banana in the background. And you're like, okay. All right. Okay.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Okay. Okay. But I think she has a great chance of winning.
Yeah, it'll make for a good show.
For sure. That's the one that, like, it's...
But we have to wait like 3 hours to watch it because it's the end.
I know.
All those best actors, actresses go at the end.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, rapid fire. I want you to tell me, who do you think is going to win the big 5, 6?
Best Picture, Oppenheimer.
I also vote Oppenheimer.
Best Director, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan, I do too.
Best Actor, Paul Giamatti.
And I'm going to say it's going to be Killian.
Best Actress, Emma Stone.
I'm also thinking it's Emma.
What's the fifth?
Supporting actor and supporting actress.
Oh, supporting actor.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Supporting actress.
Dave Vine, not even a question. I'm telling you, if you're putting money or you're going to an Oscar party and checking the box,
put $1,000 on her.
That's the one. Don't even read the rest of the list. Not saying those aren't amazing performances and don't deserve, but I'm saying as far as winning, she's winning.
I wish there would be an upset though. How fun.
No.
Yes.
But all I can think is, so Danielle Brooks is nominated for Color Purple, and they're going to have previous Oscar folks come out. Oprah did not win, but she was nominated for the same part. Do you think it's going to be Oprah?
Maybe.
It should be.
Well, they usually announce the presenters. I haven't seen her on there, but maybe it'll be a surprise.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun show, y'all. Those are the ones you should be watching before Sunday, March 10th at, I think, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Correct. And if you are wanting to watch past lives, which we've highly recommended, it does stream on Friday, I think. It starts streaming. I think on Peacock.
Oh, really?
But
I could have sworn all those A24 movies were going to Max, but...
Maybe it is Max.
Just search it, and you'll find it.
Yeah. I'm not a scholar.
Are we doing a voicemail?
We're doing a voicemail.
When do we do that?
Now.
I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to put in the audio of the voicemail.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works for me.
So, go.
We have established a hotline, and you can call, and you can leave us a voicemail. You can also text, which I didn't even know until y'all started texting it, which I love. But basically, you can call, you can ask us or text us, whichever, and ask any question that you want about anything.
919-675-2428.
Which is 919-6F. Oh, my
you messed
God.
it up. 919-675-chat.
Chat.
Jesus.
I need help.
Am I just picking one?
Pick your favorite. So we are so blessed. We had several this week.
Yeah.
Because we've been posting about it and sharing it on our social medias. And so if we're gonna pick one, but we'll play the others too at a different time.
We will?
Well, I mean, yeah. If we have like a week where we don't have one, or
of course.
we'll play them.
So do you want to text it or do you want a voicemail?
Whichever you pick. You're the holder of the phone in your hand. This is it's like pulling a rat. I feel like somebody's getting a prize.
Okay, I'm going to do one that I think is a good topic of conversation.
Okay.
Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm nervous.
You should be able to hear it.
Okay.
And then the listeners will hear the actual audio.
Hi, Let's Chat team. Longtime listener, first-time caller. My name is Alex Mackey, and I just wanted to first of all say that I love your show, and I'm so obsessed, and I'm so happy that you're back after your hiatus. My question for you is around the romantic comedy genre. As I think I've shared with you on a personal level, this tends to be my sweet spot, and we really haven't had a good romantic comedy in years. So I just wanted your opinion on the current status of the rom-com genre, or should we call it romantic comedy, and what you think is coming for the future. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
I think that's a good question.
It's a great question, something that haunts us all the time.
When I think about romantic comedy, the last really fun romantic comedy that I saw in theaters, do you know what the answer is?
No, but I'm going to already argue with you.
Marry Me.
Marry Me was a bop.
It's so good.
Yes.
What were you going to say?
This year, we have had Anyone But You.
That's true.
For better or worse, whether you thought it was the best, it wasn't the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
No. Was it a tried and true rom-com with like all the hijinks of like an early 2000s rom-com? Yes.
Yes, of course.
It's made $200 million.
Amazing.
So I do think we will see that genre get a little bit of a boom in the next like year.
I think it's interesting too for them, for Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. They're looking to make another movie together. So like, I would love to see a resurgence of like rom-com movies that have the same leads in it. Kind of like
Richard Gere.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. You know what I mean? That same kind of idea. That would be cool in like our modern day and age.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also think, unfortunately, a lot of those movies have been relegated to like streaming service originals, and they're not good.
No.
Like Lindsay Lohan has her new movie coming out, but that doesn't, it feels a little not great.
Not a high quality film.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll be watching, of course. I just think, but I do think that Anyone But You is a good, solid rom-com that made a lot of money, and I think will sort of push next year. Also, Ticket to Paradise made good money.
That's right.
And I loved that.
I didn't end up seeing that.
This sort of all relates to what we talk about all the time, which is the age of movie stars has sort of ended or like is ending, even though Timothy and Zendaya are keeping it alive and booming, as are Sydney and Glenn or whoever. But I think that sort of goes hand in hand. So that's why.
We are definitely trending towards a resurgence.
We hope so. And I'm just hoping that we are coming to the end of the rom-coms where they're running from the mafia.
Yeah.
Because that was a long time. I don't need to see anybody, like, what's the one that's coming out soon that we see the trailer for every day? Fall Guy.
Oh, my God.
Is that what's called? Fall Guy? I don't need to see movie stars, beautiful movie stars that are going to end up kissing. I don't need to see them on a hunt.
On an international chase.
It's spy movie. Like, that genre, I hate. Just let them kiss and, like, eat something that makes their mouth swell and, like, stupid stuff. That's what we want. A good fashion Julia Roberts rom-com.
Totally. 919-675 chat.
You really
919-675-2428. I'm good. I listen to the radio.
I know. Okay, we are going to wrap this up with our songs of the week. Adrian?
Mine, I'm excited for because, as I told you last week, we need some men on our music playlists.
So far, we have 4 women.
Yeah.
Iconic women, but...
Yeah. Mine is Ryan Beatty, the song Bruises Off the Peach.
Something's missing, and that's alright, I promise. I'm gonna give it until August. I'm not a Christian, I'm careless like a comet. You couldn't have me if you wanted. I cut all the bruises off the peach. Not as beautiful, but still as sweet. There you go again with all your needs. What did it ever have to do with me? What did it ever have to do with me?
When do you see him?
Next week. I'm going solo. Which I had realized but then kind of forgot and then rediscovered, came from like the Tyler the Creator world.
Oh.
He was like background singing, like did stuff with them, like that whole group of people, and now makes music on his own. And he's really good.
He is good.
Yeah. I think he's on the rise.
Elton John shouted him out, so he's definitely on the upswing.
Totally.
My song of the week is, instead of one woman, going to be 5 women in a group called The Last Dinner Party, the song Nothing Matters.
I have my sentence now, at last I know just how you felt.
that was on my new music mix.
Really?
I think so.
Wow. Okay. It's a bop, and they're excellent.
Yeah.
Anything else you need to say? What do we have coming up this week? The Oscars.
The Oscars, we're going to a live reading of I Love That For You. Me and Patrick are.
Kristen Stewart tomorrow.
Kristen Stewart Q&A tomorrow. We are stacked. We want you to send us to your screenings.
Yes.
Make us go.
We will go, and we'll talk about it. And if we don't like it,
we'll tell you.
We'll tell you. And if we do like it, we'll tell you even twice. Okay? Also, if you prefer to listen to our podcast on YouTube, you can do that now.
Yes, you can.
So basically, anywhere that you listen to a podcast, if it does not have us, let us know because we're going to put it there.
Exactly.
We have really branched out.
I think we
I'm
have.
going to make a TikTok, I think.
Let's go. We're trying to be everywhere.
We're trying to be in your house.
Exactly.
In your car.
On your Zune.
On your Zune. On your iPad.
And yes, we will be back with a new episode on the day of the Oscars, I think.
Yes, Oscars. Next week we're going to talk all things Oscars.
Yeah.
I really cannot wait.
We'll see you then.
We'll see you then. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to Let's Chat with Curry and Adrian. If you enjoyed the show, and we know you did, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Keep the conversation going by following me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Curry Terrell, and Adrian on Instagram at Adrian McMill, and Twitter at Yo Adrian McMill. Discover our weekly song picks by adding our playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, all linked in this week's episode description. Got questions or feedback? Email us at letschatwithcurry@gmail.com. See you next time. Bye, y'all.